What's up, guys? We're here with another episode of The Breakthrough, and today we have on Kacie Nicole Margis. She's a creative. She is the co-founder and CEO of K-Space Promotions, and she is a chronic illness warrior.
And we got her on today because we want everyone out there that has got chronic illnesses to feel less alone by Kacie and I sharing our stories, and for everyone that doesn't have chronic illnesses that may want to learn a bit more about it or have someone, a partner or a friend in their life that does have it. So hopefully, this openness helps you out.
We got the physical chronic illness, and I'm a big advocate for mental health. I don't know what it's like to have PTSD, but you also suffer from that.
Yes. So I have PTSD. I was first diagnosed with PTSD in 2014. So that was the year that I was diagnosed with POTS and had my heart monitor on. But what had happened earlier that year was somebody tried to rape me, and I was able to escape, did a police report, did all of that, but suffered from PTSD from that. And then
How did you escape quickly, if you don't mind saying?
Yeah, so it was all elaborately planned.
Was it somebody you knew?
Yes, it was somebody I knew.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
So we had met for dinner, and it was really strange. I had a weird feeling when I arrived. And he said, well, let's go to a different place. This place is really crowded. So he goes, let's take my car. So I get in his car, which is, my gut told me not to, but
interesting.
So we go to that place, and then he said, oh, all of my friends are back at the place. And it was when that show Workaholics was really big. I don't know if you two ever watched it.
I sure did.
It was really big at the time. So he's like, yeah, everyone's over watching it. So I was like, okay. I had met the group of friends. I hung out with them a few times. So I go to his place. He opens the door. Nobody is there. And I'm like, where is everybody? Like immediately, I'm like, okay, this is wrong. So he is like, oh, they're all this way, and like kind of points for me where to go. So I start walking, and that's when he attacked me. He threw me on the bed and tried to rip my clothes off, and I had scrapes and scratches and bruises, and he was huge. He was like 6'4".
Oh my god.
But I was able to escape because he had, when he was attacking me, he had shoved his tongue in my mouth, and I bit down as hard as I could.
That a girl.
Good girl.
Yes. So, because he was holding me down, and so when I did that, he let go, and I just ran, and I ran to where my car was parked.
Did he try and chase you?
He didn't try to chase me because he was bleeding. So he was like tending to his mouth.
His tongue.
So I sprinted, I got to my car, and I called one of my best friends who had met him the same day that I met him. And I went through the process of reporting it, which is a nightmare. And I understand why a lot of women don't report it. They interrogate you for hours. And then they do like the rape kit where they scrape under your nails, they clip your hair. I saw that in the briefcase that was like sitting down. And I'm like, oh wow, that's
uncomfortable.
just like the ultimate low of just feeling like you are a puddle on the ground. The PTSD, it would happen. I would see flashes of him in his face, and it would happen in random spots. I would be in Target with my mom walking down an aisle, and then all of a sudden just
there
like
it comes
a flash of him like on top, like trying to attack me. So I have PTSD from that. And then I was in a mass shooting. I was in the Vegas shooting.
You were at the Vegas shooting?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Kacie. Wow.
It was horrible.
The Vegas. Oh my. Wait. So what? So you were.
What happened?
Did you see it all go down? Were you?
You were in the crowd.
Yes. So I was actually where the most fatalities was where
Oh my God.
I was there with my sister, and we were at the front of the stage. So how it was set up, the stage, and then right here, and then Mandalay Bay where the shooter was. So,
looking over the...
Yeah, so we were closest to Mandalay Bay, and the section that we were in, a lot of people were shot like directly around us. So we were in the crowd and heard gunshots, and intuitively I knew.
You did?
Yes, and I think my sister knew as well. We are like right behind the fence to the stage, and somebody like yelled out, "Get on the ground!" And so my sister and I got on the ground, and we're holding hands, and we're just keeping our heads as close to the ground as we can. So we're on the ground, and I told myself, okay, focus on your breathing, and I started doing like deep yoga, meditative breaths.
Yeah, for you.
And I don't know how I was able to calm myself down, but I told myself it's better if I get hit while I'm relaxed than if I'm panicking and a bullet hits me. Right. So, and I fully thought that I would get hit because everyone around us was getting hit.
So what was going through your head? Did you think, oh my God, like what are you thinking?
Well, what was going on in my head was just make sure my sister is still with me. So I'm constantly squeezing her hand, checking to make sure she's okay. And we just like kept repeating that we love each other. And I just kept saying like, I love you, Allie, I love you, I love you. And she's like, I love you too, we're gonna get out of this, we're gonna be okay. And we just had amazing teamwork. So we realized we needed to go. We couldn't continue to be on the ground. So we got up and we hopped.
Did you feel it? Was he gone? Like, did you know?
No, it was still
So
happening.
did you think he was on the ground? Because nobody knew he was at the hotel, right?
People thought that he was in the crowd.
Right.
And people thought it was multiple shooters.
Okay.
So you risked running. You got up and ran.
Right.
Oh my God.
So
we
had no idea where the bullets were coming from. And we at that point you don't know what to do, so you just kind of like strategize like, all right, I think this will work. And so that's what we did. So we hopped the fence, and my boot got caught on the fence, and there was a woman on the other side who helped me over, and she was wearing a white floral dress and had brown boots on. Thank you, wherever you are. From there,
what about your sister?
She was already over the fence. So we ran to where the artist trailers were, which was on the right side of the stage if you're looking at the stage. So we were closest to Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
And we hide behind the trailers, and at this point the shooting is still happening. And
you still hear gunshots actively going
yes.
on. Okay.
So
so you literally thinking at any point you could be hit, like you weren't safe at all.
No, not at all. So from there was a man and his wife underneath the stage, and they were like flagging to us like, come under the stage. So we run under the stage, and there was a 2-foot like concrete wall. You know, have you seen those construction? Like they're like this, and it's all concrete.
Oh yeah, they put them up on the highway.
Yeah. So there we had that, and so we had that behind our backs to that, and we had our legs out, and the man says to my sister and I, you need to pull your legs in as tight as you can and protect your vital organs. So we pull everything in, and then we turn to like the side, so we're like in a row. So my sister is almost like you're on a roller coaster, the seating. Yeah. So my sister is behind me, and then I've basically got my hands on this man's back, and then his wife is in front of him. And at this point, I'm like, I need to call my parents. I say, Mom, Allie and I are in the middle of a mass shooting.
Oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe that you went through that.
So we're in the middle of a mass shooting. and we're under the stage. Right now we're safer than we were 10 minutes ago, and she just starts singing to me. And she sang me "You Are My Sunshine," which is my favorite song.
I'm doing everything I can to not cry right now.
I'm
I'm sorry.
I'm like, I can't.
I was not expecting you to say that. I thought you were going to say she cried and was yelling or something.
No, she knew. I think just as a mother, she knew there was nothing she could do at that point.
Apart from
And
soothe
so-
her
What a
babies.
good
Yeah.
mom. Oh my
There's,
God.
I tell her now, like, I don't know how you thought of that, but I'm so thankful because it calmed me down. That's our song, and she just started singing to me, and so I started singing with her.
How did you get out?
So we're under the stage, and then the shooting ceased, and my mom commented on how quiet it got. She's like, "Oh, it sounds really quiet now. Do you need to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna go." So I sent a slew of text messages to my parents, and just like telling everyone how much I love them. And then my sister wanted to stay underneath the stage. She's like, we're safer here.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I feel like we should go because I see people evacuating, and
It's a good time
police
to
were
get
starting
out.
to
Yeah.
arrive.
How long did
So-
the whole thing last? From the beginning of the shooting to...
to us getting out?
Mm-hmm.
So the shooting itself, I believe, lasted like 11 minutes, but it felt...
Oh my God, that's a long
Forever,
time.
yeah.
That's a really
long.
long time.
But from the beginning of the shooting to the point where we were actually out was probably 2 hours. So we were under the stage for probably 20 minutes,
Okay.
and then we ran, and
Were you just
it
adrenaline
was-
like
yes,
so,
so,
taking over?
and I with pots with.
Oh my God,
Yes.
yes.
So
no.
my sister was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you?" Because with
yeah.
the chronic pain and chronic illnesses that I deal with, it's difficult to run.
So you already had them before this, but the
Mm.
mass shooting then probably made everything worse.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So we're running, and it's clear to us at this point that nobody knows what to do or where to go, and there's no marked exits anywhere.
Mm.
So there was a concert staff. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what are you still doing here? You're probably getting paid minimum wage,
Right,
and you're here."
Mhm.
Yes, and he was like, "Go that way. There's the parking lot's that way. You just keep running." And so it's very amazing to me that someone who's probably getting paid $10 an hour stayed there to tell people
Right.
where they can escape.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we're running, and my sister's like, "Okay, we shouldn't go where they're telling everyone to go, because that's usually where a shooter will go next."
Right.
So we're running, and we see like an office building behind the Hooters, and we try the door, and it's locked. And my sister's like, "Okay, let's keep running." And I'm like, "Okay, wait, I see another door," and I try it, and it's unlocked. And so we go inside, and it's freaky. Nobody is in there. There's no lights. It's an empty hallway with
Oh
cubicles.
God, I'd have run straight back out. I mean, no way.
Right.
Because you don't know if he's
Well,
lurking in there.
Yeah, that's the scary thing is
Yeah.
that as we were running, people were like, "Oh, there's still active shooters. They're all on the strip." And then
Goodness.
there was a rumor that it was police officers. So they're like, "Don't trust any police officers."
Oh my God.
And
that's a horrible
yeah,
rumor.
so it's not
Yeah.
like it.
So you didn't
It
feel
wasn't
safe
just
even
in
when
the
they
video.
came.
Yeah.
Because for all you knew, there was
What
10
you
of
were
them.
told. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Exactly. So we go down this hallway, and we find an empty room full of cubicles. We're like, "Okay, we need to preserve our phone batteries." So she calls her friend Kylie, who lives in Vegas, and Kylie's like, "Yeah, I hear what's happening." And she's like, "I'll get in the car." Her and her boyfriend came in their pickup truck, and
To rescue you.
yes,
Oh.
so we were still in the cubicles at this point, and more people started coming in about 20 minutes later, and little kids. So I got all the kids and put them in the janitor's closet, because there was like,
Oh.
I'm like, "What's the most secure place?"
Right.
The janitor's closet. So Kylie says, "Okay, we're down the street, but we're blocked off, so you're gonna have to run to us." We run, and we get to the truck, and we pile it up with as many people as we can
The truck,
fit.
your friend's truck.
In the
Yeah.
bed of the truck. Okay.
Yeah, so we pile people in the bed and in the cab because everyone's trying to escape. I just remember we're holding hands and we're like, we made it out.
We made it.
Were you convinced in the moment then, like, this is the end, I have to say goodbye, potentially the end? Like, is that where your brain goes? Because I've never had a near-death experience.
So
Does
for
your brain
me,
go to I love yous to everybody?
well, the I love yous were just to my immediate family, so my parents and then my brother.
What?
Yeah, in the moment, I think I was more like, okay, I thought that I would get hit with a bullet, but I didn't think I would die. But I thought, okay, how am I going to deal with it when I get hit? Because of where we were located in the venue was where everybody was getting hit.
So you felt it was inevitable.
Wow.
It's going to happen. I just got to prepare for it.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
why I was doing the breathing. And then when I sent the texts and phone calls, I'm like, just in case anything happens.
Wow.
I did not expect you to say that when you said you're No wonder you have PTSD. And,
Both of those.
And those
events. I mean, I was telling her one of those events would, I think, cause a horrific amount of PTSD, but then you added it to another.
two in the same. What was space was that between them?
Those two that I mentioned, there was a 3-year gap between them.
Okay.
But I've been dealing with PTSD. 4th of July was horrible.
Oh, I bet.
New Year's.
Because the sound of the fireworks.
Yeah.
And all
Do you
the
get
popping
flashbacks of the shooting?
Yeah,
even
and I
now?
get horrible nightmares. Yeah.
Do you?
Like night terrors?
Yeah.
For people that have PTSD, how do you get through it? What do you do when the things flare up? Like, what are the positives to it, or how do you manage it?
Managing it.
So we don't leave everyone
To
completely
me-
distressed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's just noticing. So what I mean by that is, for instance, my sister and I, we were on a hike and there was helicopters, and the sound of the helicopters triggered both of us. And so we notice it, we take it in, we acknowledge this is a helicopter, this is not a gun.
Yeah.
Nobody is here to hurt us. So I think just that, like when I get triggered or when I have nightmares and I wake up, I just tell myself, okay, this is not what's happening right now. This happened to me, it's horrible, but it's not currently I'm in my bed, I have a pillow underneath
Back to
me.
being present.
Like, yes.
Grounding your factual things around you.
Exactly, just grounding. And whenever I feel triggered, I have to do that. Like, okay, here I am. I'm sitting with Charlie and Jess. We're having a nice talk.
We're good. We're sharing. We're helping people.
And then just noticing my surroundings, and then really bringing myself back to okay, I'm here right now. I'm not in the shooting. I'm still getting used to the new normal that people say, but for the 1-year anniversary, which was last October, my family and I took a trip to Hawaii.
Oh,
because we're like, we need to be away, doing something nice.
You guys need a vacation.
And that was our
well-deserved vacation.
That was our first real family vacation. So
oh wow, that's special.
So it kind of that was bonding then.
Yeah.
It was like that brought.
So creating new memories.
Amazing.
So I think that's for me, because I still deal with horrible anxiety, PTSD, nightmares. But for me, just creating new memories and really chasing after all my goals has been huge for me. Like, okay, I can do this. Like, I've already overcome so much. And
you're an example right here to everyone that's, your brother's a cancer survivor. It shows it can be done. You've been through hell and back.
True.
And a lot of traumatic situations with everything from your health and actually external things. And you're sat here just
positive,
driven, charming, open, using it for good. And I think it's so wonderful.
What my sister and I say is, like, little things don't bother us. People will be upset about traffic or whatever, and we're like,
that's nothing.
Once you dodge bullets,
it's truly not a big deal.
Nothing matters. It's so funny. Like, you just realize like, oh, my hair looks bad today. Whatever.
Your perspective.
Perspective.
Totally. Where
where
can everybody find you, and also your website for your new business?
Yes, my personal Instagram is case_face1. And then my business, which is a promotional marketing and events company, is Case Face Promotions. And that's on Instagram. And also our website is casefacepromotions.com.
Amazing.
Easy. Awesome.
Yay.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
This was so special.
Right,
Thank
usually
you
we
for
give a
opening
group
up.
hug, but we don't want to
I
hug
know.
you, so we're like,
Oh
very
no, hugging
gently.
is great.
Oh, you're so wonderful. Thank you.